The education system in New Zealand is a three-tier model which includes primary schools, followed by secondary schools and tertiary education at universities or polytechnics. The academic year in New Zealand varies between institutions but generally runs from late January until mid-December for primary schools, secondary schools, and polytechnics, and from late February until mid-November for universities. In 2009, the Programme for International Student Assessment, published by the OECD, ranked New Zealand 7th best at science and reading in the world, and 13th in maths. The Education Index, published as part of the UN's Human Development Index, consistently ranks New Zealand among the highest in the world. History. Prior to the arrival of Europeans, Maori ran schools to pass on tradition knowledge including songs, chants, tribal history, spiritual understanding and knowledge of medicinal plants. These wānanga were usually run by elders called tohunga, respected for their tribal knowledge, and teaching was confined to the rangatira class. Reading and writing were unknown, but woodcarving was well developed. Formal European-style schooling was first introduced in 1815 and was well established in 1832 by the London Missionary Society missionaries, who learnt Maori and built the first schools in the Bay of Islands. Both children and adults were taught. The main resources were the Christian New Testament and slates, and teaching was in Maori. For many years the Bible was the only literature used in teaching, and this became a major factor in how Maori viewed the European world. In the 1850s a Maori trade school was established at Te Awamutu by John Gorse to teach Maori practical skills associated with European-style farming, but in 1863 was burnt down by Rewi Maniapoto in the early stages of New Zealand wars. In 1853 missionaries Mr. and Mrs. Ashwell had been running a school for 50 Maori girls for 3 years at Taupiri in the Waikato, teaching arithmetic and reading. By 1860, 75% of Maori could read in Maori and 33% could write in Maori. Teaching by missionaries and in native schools was in Maori between 1815 and 1900. The young Maori Party MPs, especially Sir Maui Pomeri and Ngata, advocated the teaching of Maori children using English, as well as teaching hygiene to lower the Maori sickness and death rates. Pomeri was knighted after WW1 for his work in improving Maori learning and integration into New Zealand society. New Zealand did not establish a state education system until 1877. The absence of a national education system meant that the first sizable secondary education providers were grammar schools and other private institutions. The first grammar school in New Zealand, Auckland Grammar School, was established in 1850 and formally recognised as an educational establishment in 1868 through the Auckland Grammar School Appropriation Act. Early childhood education. Many children attend some form of early childhood education before they begin school, such as play center, kindergarten, kohanga rio, licensed early childhood centers, chartered early childhood centers,